Sis, welcome to our healing table. In our community, oftentimes, we think that we can manage things and we try to manage stress and keep everything going, when in reality is you don't want to get to a point where the medicine will no longer work. That's how we get to that point of burnout, right?
I think when we look at society as a whole, us living in a capitalistic society, where we have to just grind for the most part, and then we're just going, and we're trying to reach these goals. But then, you experience tiredness and burnout right there because you might just be stuck into that grind mode versus realizing, those times when you, need to rest.
I don't know how health becoming a sacrificial part of that became a thing to celebrate.
I don't know.
I don't know how we got there. Because I understand, when you understand, you have to be your best self in order to really get it. When being in survival mode and health is poor and trying to hustle, it just puts you in a different place. I feel like
we are your hosts, Taryn.
And I'm Mika.
And this is episode 4. Yes. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about, sis, are you tired?
Or tired.
Oh, tired. Okay. We're going to be talking about burnout, stress.
Success, listening to our body,
listening to the body,
honoring what the body is saying, and all of the things.
Yes, we need that. A conversation that needs to be had. So
needs to be had.
Thank you for joining us for another episode. We are glad to have you here with us.
Thank you for being here. Thank y'all for we're on episode 4 now, so thank y'all for journeying with us. Yes. I would like to say that.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. Major thank you. It's definitely a journey for us too. It's been a journey for us just having the different conversations. I love continuing to have these conversations because I feel like it's just opening up deeper layers and we're just going deeper and learning more about
I feel we feel like we're just getting to know each other even more, even though we haven't really realized how we met, but really getting to know each other in that way.
Yes. I'm thankful. All right, what tea we got today?
Today we have some ashwagandha. So we have some ashwagandha root. And so what I did was I created a decoction. Terry from the Delvin.
It smells like a root.
It is a root. I definitely put some extra honey in here.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me tell you how I prepared it. It is a decoction. So typically in our past episodes, you may have seen us steeping herbs, and that's because we were using the lighter parts of the plant, which means we're using the leaves, the berries, and things like that. Or even the flowers, but we created a decoction, so that's why you don't see the root in here, and we had to boil it. So when you are working with the tougher parts of the plants, like the twigs or the roots, you have to decoct them. And so we boiled these for probably about 20 minutes and made a tea. It is bitter. I will say that I did use a great bit of honey.
Okay. Let me put some more.
Yeah, I put a great bit of honey in here. Ashwagandha is bitter. Oftentimes people use ashwagandha. Ashwagandha, I feel like, is a buzzword.
Ashwagandha is very trendy right now.
It is trendy. And people oftentimes are using it in gummies.
Yeah.
Or people are using it in tinctures. But today we're having it as a tea. So it is very bitter. I like to say the bitter the better. Bitter herbs are very beneficial for health, great for stimulation, but it's also an adaptogen, which means it's going to help to bring balance back into the body, which we need that when we're dealing with stress. And so today we have ashwagandha. It is bitter, but
It is. Yeah. I've had ashwagandha in so many different blends, and that's what we were talking about last episode, not really getting the experience of herb by itself. I've never experienced ashwagandha.
Okay, let's get your first-hand experience, your feedback, and if you need more honey. Because I think that's the reality of working with plants. We don't like the taste of every single one. And I think that's the reality that, people should see and know, okay, hey, let me try this or let me try that, or knowing that you can alter it in the sense of adding honey and things like that. So let's get your first-hand experience on ashwagandha. I drink ashwagandha on a regular, but let's see Terrence's experience.
It smells bitter. I do like bitter things, though. Of course, they taste nasty, but I know that they're really, really good for the digestive and good for you. So let me see. It's actually not bad. That's not as bitter as I thought it would, a dandelion root or something. Yeah. It's more bitter on the back end, but I think the amount of honey I must have put in there balanced it out pretty well, and it actually tastes it tastes woodsy, earthy, and slightly sweet.
I think often the smell could be definitely be discouraging. But even for me, when I get to the benefits of it, I've eaten worse things. I think let's talk about that, because oftentimes people talk about, it doesn't eat healthy food doesn't necessarily taste good, or even like working with certain players that don't taste good. But we eat things that taste good or consume things that taste good all the time that are is detrimental for the body. So I think that it definitely comes with a mindset shift of like, if I can drink Coke knowing what it does to my body and it has a better flavor, why not drink something that may not taste as flavorful but is beneficial within that way?
That's what I seen a post where somebody was talking about. If you can take a shot of alcohol and down a whole bottle of alcohol, then you can take
alcohol
some
does not
herbs
taste good
at all.
It does not taste good.
No matter which way you try to add strawberry, pineapple flavor
or
into it, it don't give.
Yeah, it don't. It's nothing about alcohol is good.
Tequila is honestly not too bad. Sometimes some of the ones that are like aged in oak, they have more like a buttery taste. So those type of alcohols are going to taste better, and that's just in the ways that alcohol works, where it actually is that solvent and soaking up.
Right.
So you get that oak quality in there. So actually like a oak or hickory type of tequila tastes good, or like a bourbon or something. But straight up, no, alcohol does not taste good. But this is actually not bad. I actually don't mind it. I think that honey in there definitely set it off.
Okay.
It kind of reminds me, all bitter herbs just kind of remind me of like coffee though, in some way, like make you feel like you're drinking like that. You know how coffee has that strong taste, but then when you add a sweetener, it's more like tolerable. Yeah.
And oftentimes these herbs are the same herbs that I add to chicory. So chicory, of course, is a natural alternative to coffee. And so oftentimes people will add stuff like burdock root and things to it. For that strength. So yeah, that is, if you have tried ashwagandha before, I'm curious to know in the comments what you think of ashwagandha.
How does it work for you? Also, another thing, since you was talking about the safety and the contraindications, I know that there's been some like safety, because ashwagandha is so popular, everybody's trying it, but then there's also like some contraindications. It's not good for everyone. It doesn't work for everyone. I don't know if you knew anything specifically about them. I'm in a group where somebody mentioned like people with PCOS shouldn't necessarily take ashwagandha. I don't know. I haven't done my own research, but I've heard that it's like safety and contraindications around it.
So it's safety and contraindications with every plant. I will say to like look up a Materia Medica. Materia Medica is also an Ebers Papyrus. It's going to give you the background of the plant. It'll talk about the precautions, and then you can even look at like Medscape to see if you're on medication for like PCOS or any of the things that can have contraindications within that way. And so I think that the best thing to do is to always research the plant and identify if it works for you within that way. I've had people that has PCOS that has used ashwagandha. They typically use it in a tincture form. So it all depends. And the beauty of the plants is that they are very intentional, but they show up for everyone differently. And that goes back into honoring the plants within that way and identifying what works for you and what doesn't.
Yep, indeed. And also, just another thing that just came to me, just a cautionary tale, is like with so many things being trendy and everything sourcing it, you just want to know about your source and that quality of the herb.
Matters.
Make sure that it's good so that you're getting the proper benefits from it, because once something becomes like popular, you start to get a lot of knockoffs, a lot of dupes, and when it comes to herbs, you don't want that. Like,
and it's the same thing that come with herbs.
Yes.
The same thing that come with herbs. I think it's the same thing with sea moss. Everybody wants to get their hand in it. It's driven by money, of course, and so the best thing is to always, be mindful of integrity. And so for me, when I am sourcing, I look for wild-crafted or organic. That is going to be my source, and so being mindful of that, and then being mindful of when you're using herbs in combinations with others, knowing those contraindications and side effects. So it can be very layered, but yeah, just gotta do your homework.
we on the surface, but it can definitely be very layered. Understood. Okay, let's start with our check-in question.
So our check-in question today is, what's something your body has been trying to tell you? So start with you.
Something my body's been trying to tell me. I think my body has been trying to tell me to do more yoga. I think for me personally, because I've been working out a lot more than usual, and I need some sort of balance in there. Like, I'm just constantly like working out the muscles, and I haven't probably been properly stretching like before and after my workouts as well as I should have. And that's why I said I need yoga, because yoga, most of the time when I do yoga, it's more like deep stretch and then also helping to build the foundation.
Right.
Like my knees, child.
Yeah.
My knees have been
So restorative care.
Yes,
Intentional with restorative care.
It's intentional or restorative care for sure. My knees have been so bad. So it's just like, that's where my main pain issues are if I'm ever really dealing with something. But I was running and stuff like that. So I'm like, it's been telling me, I feel like my own situation that I took from me running is that I need to not run. That's what my body's been telling me to not run. My body's been telling me to just like really like lean into like taking care of my joints and my muscles and my back and just all those different areas, like making sure that I'm kind of like staying flexible, staying more like loose and limber.
Okay.
What about
I
you?
will say, and just this week, hydration.
Yes.
I have been cleansing and all of the things, and so one of the first signs for me is hydration when I wake up in the morning and feel like a headache onsetting and knowing that I didn't drink enough water the day before. And so one thing that I have been honoring is consuming more water. And then just prioritizing health. I think that within talking about, sis, are you tired, and we're always going and we're always on the go and we're always working and I'm juggling multiple hats. Not necessarily prioritizing health as I should. So I don't get bad, but I know that I should be drinking more water and things like that, or I miss a day of taking my supplements, or, have a tincture in the morning, don't get mine at night. And so just being more intentional within that. And so, just listen to what my body is telling me of prioritizing my health and drinking more water.
Yes.
So,
listening and actually like taking the action, because again, your body will keep on saying something to you. It'll be
it's
like,
gonna get louder.
Yes, I'm trying to let you know, and then we'll keep ignoring it, keep pushing it to okay, I could do it tomorrow. I could try again next week or what have you. And your body will make you have several seats if need be.
Having several seats is a word, right? So when you get to the point of ignoring, it's only going to get louder. And I think within us, in our community, oftentimes, like, we think that we can manage things and we try to manage stress and keep everything going, when in reality is you don't want to get to a point where the medicine will no longer work. And so I think that it's important for us to listen, because when you get to that point where the medicine isn't working, the food isn't working, the journaling or whatever you're doing is no longer working, that's how we get to that point of burnout, right? So I think it's important for us to take those necessarily steps when we are tired or listening to the body before we get to we shouldn't get to that
point
end.
of no return.
That point of no return, And so I think it goes back to listening, and your body is going to communicate. And I think it's one thing that I really learned to read my body, understand what my urine is telling me, my stool, or just knowing what my body needs. And having cravings is another indicator of your body trying to communicate. And so,
No, definitely the cravings. That's crazy. I remember just like times of like waking up out of my sleep. Like first thing I'm like, I need water. Like a serious craving. I've actually had dreams where I was drinking water because you just needed water.
More water.
Through the dream, your body will try to communicate with you through dreams, like through different pains and aches. But we definitely just have to, like you said, be intentional and also be aware. Like, well, how can I focus in on that spot more? Like, what's going on there? And then of course, looking at it by itself, individual, and then also looking at the whole picture of like, okay, what all does my body need? And that's why I say like maintenance is something that we just constantly always have to do. Exercising, taking our herbs, getting enough sleep, like all of those different things, drinking enough water, like those are things that we constantly have to stay up on. And we falter. We do have to have grace and be like, okay, I'm not going to always stay up on it. I'm probably not going as hard as I want to. But your body is going to let you know. It's just going to keep on like knocking at the door like until you answer. For real.
And you better.
You better answer. I know most of the time, like even we all talk about like when flu season and all that type of stuff comes up, but it's just like most of the time, a lot of the times the flu for me has represented like I needed to sit down. We know that when you get the flu, like you're not going to work. Your body is just so like weak. Your body is weak. The best thing that you could do at the time when you have the flu is to rest and allow your body to do what it does. Of course, you take like different herbs and different medicines that can help you to heal, but it will sit you down. It's like you need to rest.
And you have to honor those things you've been ignoring.
You have no other choice.
You will have to surrender to your body, you know. At some point, you're going to have to surrender to it. So you might as well do it early on and have a better chance of recovery, or waiting to getting down the line and then you trying to rebuild.
I think what can be tough, though, is just like I think when we look at society as a whole, like us living in like a capitalistic society, like where we have to just like grind for the most part and hustle and make money, and we all have our different goals that we are trying to attain, and it requires a lot of like sacrifice and a lot of work and endurance from us. And then we're just going, and we're trying to reach these goals. But then, like, you experience tiredness and burnout right there because you might just be stuck into that grind mode versus realizing, like, those times when you, like, need to rest or really, like, taking a break, a sufficient break. Like, like not something that's real quick sometimes, but actually, like, allowing your body that time to, like, restore. You mentioned earlier, restorative.
It's
allowing
okay
your
to
body
pause.
to restore.
It's okay to pause. I think that, yeah, like have that hustle, have that drive, you know, be driven, all of the things. But I don't know how health becoming a sacrificial part of that became a thing to celebrate.
I don't know.
You know,
either.
I don't know how we got there. Like, because I understand, when you understand, like, you have to be your best self in order to really get it. You know, like when being in survival mode and health is poor and trying to hustle, it just puts you in a different place. I feel like when you're in a space where you're doing the things and taking care of yourself, like, hustle to me don't feel like hustle it did 5-10 years ago.
Ain't nobody
when I
trying
start
to do too much of
prioritizing
that.
myself, So like now that I'm thinking clearly because I'm not eating junk. You know what I mean? Like I'm able to function and am not burning out so fast because like I fuel my body.
Yes.
It's just kind of like when you're not operating from a deficit, it's not harder. I don't look at it as burnout. Like I can know like to take a break, you know? And so, yeah.
No, I definitely feel that. Like you said, just not operating from that deficit, so that way you're pouring back into yourself, so that you can kind of replenish. Well, you're replenishing yourself so that you can give out. And I've always been very, very big on that, just taking that time. And it looks differently all the time. And I think we know what we know. Sometimes we might like lack the know-how to like eat. I think a lot of times for a lot of us it'd be like, well, how do I eat better? Like we might think that we're eating better, but we're really probably like not necessarily eating better. Drinking water, like yeah, we might drink water, but like, are we drinking enough water? Are we like eating properly? Are we doing the lifestyle things that actually matter to us? And I think sometimes we like look at social media and it can feel overwhelming, like I need to be doing all of these things. But again, as we always talk about here on our healing table, like it looks specific to you based off of what you have going on. One of the best things that you could do is go take a blood test and figure out what's literally going on inside of your body.
What are you deficient in? Yeah. And even within like taking a blood test, that goes into like understanding your body. When you identify a disease manifests through stagnation, excess, and deficiency, it's important for us to be mindful of what we're deficient of. And oftentimes in our community, we're 9 times out of 10 have excess of something, stagnation, but definitely we're deficient. And so when you understand the body when you understand health from that like mindset, you get to look at things differently. I don't need too much of this. Right? I need more water, but I don't need more soda and things like that. And so when you understand how disease manifests, I think it gives you a different perspective on life and then how you move. And so even within that, like, yeah, I do have my moments where I cheat, but I know too much or excess of me cheating is going to lead to a thing. And so I just have that mindset when I understand like what disease looks like and how it manifests.
And even though the topic is like, sis, are you tired? And I know we talk about like energy wise, but like what we put into our bodies, that's our fuel. So like that is what's going to keep us going.
If you're eating junk, that's why you're tired. You're tired. When I am, you know, eating my greens and all the things, not only am I energized, so is my system. I'm flowing properly. I'm going to the bathroom regularly. Like all these things are necessary, and then they also to add to your quality of life, right? And so again, we have to stop operating from a space of depletion, and we shouldn't allow our cups to get empty to keep trying to fill them. Okay, got a little down. What we need, you need to add a little bit more to this. Just to get your cup back full. We shouldn't wait till our cups here are empty to try to fill them up. Yeah.
No, that's facts. It's facts. And I get that. And I think it goes back to even our last episode where we talked about like cultivating that soft life and cultivating like how you want that to look for you, because the demands of life, I think, can just make people feel so like beaten down. Like, especially if you maybe think about, I'm not a single mother or something like that, but you think about like maybe a single mother who has to like go to work and still provide and stuff at home, and then you got to be everything and anything to your child. Like that's a lot, and it can really be hard to find time for yourself to like really get that rest and restorative action that you need. And if you don't have that support as well, I think like not having that support can, and I want to acknowledge, I'm not personally dealing with that, but I want to acknowledge like us as Black women and what a woman might be dealing with of like being a single mom and actually having to endure that, where you really feel like there's no support, like there's no way for you to really like take that time to rest. But I do feel like when we talk about like herbs, even the last episode we talked about making a tea, like actually just taking that tea, and maybe later on at night when your children go to sleep, like actually being able to take that time to like sip some tea. I know like slow mornings feel good for a lot of people. For me, if you're able to do that, but I want to like put my feet into the shoes of people who don't feel like they have the time to rest and be restored.
I'll say like I appreciate my mom for being selfish in motherhood. And when I say selfish, like she would go in her room and close the door and say, "Hey, don't knock on the door. I need a moment."
Yes.
And I think that those are moments. And again, I'm not a mother, but I have such deep respect looking back on the things that my mom did as a single mother. And those were things that she would do, would close the door and take time to herself. And we would have to like, figure it out. Of course, she would make sure that we're locked in, but we would have to figure it out. And I think that it's important for us to understand that it's not selfish work. You need that. That was something that my mom did, or she would, if she had help, she would call in, so my grandmother would come over. So that's another thing too, like leaning on help in your resources. And I tell my friends all the time that have children, I say, "Hey friend, you want me to get a little baby?" And I call all my friends babies, little baby, so I gotta keep up with everybody's name. But if you you can bring little baby over here, I'll give you a break. I don't mind it. And so for me, I try to find intentional ways that I can show up for single moms within that way. And so I'm curious if anybody does experience that. What are some things that they do if you are a single mom? If you got a piece of advice, like leave it below in the comments and let another single mom know maybe some things that she could do. Because I don't feel like I can necessarily speak directly to it because I don't know what it feels like. But if anyone do have any resources or tips to share, be sure to leave it below so that we can make sure that there are moms out here getting what they need within that way.
And even though that's not our experience, I wanted to bring that up because I know that is the reality for a lot of women, people. So I just wanted to make sure that like we touched on that. I know for me as a wife and a mother and a business owner, like you said, them times where you got to go retreat to your room, or like I talked about my sacred space, like those times where you can actually like take that time to spend those times with yourself. And another thing that came up when you said that your mom went to her room is like not feeling the guilt, like the guilt of actually like taking the time to yourself. And I think that's one thing what I kept bringing up in the beginning was like, well, we have these like expectations of like grind and hustle and goals that you got to reach, but don't feel guilty when you need to take that time to pause. It's okay. Like you should really be like congratulating yourself and really like that you're in that moment and that you actually took that time. Like even me, when I go and sit down and do yoga, at the end of all of my practices, I always thank myself for like just taking the time to like come and do something for myself, to like sit on the mat, to do something that feels good to me. And again, everything that you do, you have to be intentional about it. So when you start to feel your body getting tired and your body is sending you those signals, then you have to take those intentional moments to be like, let me pause, let me relax. That's why I love, I don't know if you've heard of the NAP ministry. Okay, the NAP ministry, I'm not too familiar with them, but I heard about them. And she was just, and you know what, I asked her on my other podcast, I tried to ask her to be on my podcast, and she said, I'm just in the space where like I'm resting. And I was like, sis is really like resting for real. And but she's honoring, like she made a whole ministry out of it. Like sometimes you just need to sit down and take a nap. Like really let your body and reset. And that's when your body really does the majority of healing. That's when it's able to actually like cleanse itself and able to restore itself, and your immune system is able to repair itself when you're asleep. When
Which we don't get enough of.
We do not get enough of that, especially as Black women. We don't feel comfortable doing it. We feel like somebody needs us.
I feel like we take it personal, like we're not doing enough. Because I felt like that, like if I take a nap, I'm being lazy, or I'm not doing this. I could be doing X, Y, and Z. I could be making a post. I could be sending email. I can be responding to this person. I could be doing all this thing. Girl, sit down.
Mine just always on 10.
Sit down. And it's like, no, I'm a single woman. I don't have kids. Yeah, I have businesses and all the things, but like nobody is deserving of me 24/7. Nobody but myself. And so for me, it's like I ain't gotta respond.
That part,
Some people,
yes.
like, I'll get to it. And I think that came from me removing that guilt. I used to do so much responding and engaging and feeling like I need to do things out of guilt because I felt like as a black woman, all I knew what it is to work. I didn't grow up ever seeing black women rest.
You don't.
I never saw that.
No,
like
it's not in our history.
we didn't even get to complain about being tired or I'm just not. No, I'm tired today. Those are things that I never get to hear black women say.
Yes.
But no, we get tired, and I feel like tired as heck sometimes. Like, look, I get so tired. And I ain't gonna say recently, but in the past, I would get so tired. I'd be tired of thinking.
Yes, that's right. Mental fatigue.
No,
yes.
I don't want to think. I don't want to do anything. I just want to be. And so, I think that's a good segue into being tired versus depletion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When I hear tired to me sounds like you're almost there. Like tired is like I'm starting to feel it. Depleted is like I ain't got nothing else to give.
Yeah.
I don't got nothing else to give. And I've been in that position before too when we talk about like our personal stories of like burnout is I remember in the beginning, like when we first were building Urban Eden, it was just me and Quentin. Like we were having to do all of the work, like, making all the product, we're shipping out all the orders, we're doing all the marketing. Like when you're in business alone, like most of the time you're doing every part of it. And I think like for business owners, that's one important thing to talk about is like burnout, because we're just doing so much. We have to keep our business going. The energy of the business relies on you, and you really kind of don't feel like you have the time to rest. Or if you have customers and they see you resting, then it's a problem. They be like, why are you resting?
I ordered some 3 hours ago. Why is it not at the post office?
Right.
Yeah.
You trying to meet other people's expectations, and it could be tough. And so even in the beginning of our business, like I remember one time we had to fulfill a really large soap order, and we were like bubbling soaps and all these different things. And one day I just woke up and I could not open up my mouth wide at all. Like my jaw was like this, and it was in pain, and then my whole arm, I could not move my arm. So it's like my whole side of my body, and I'm like, I had never experienced this before. I'm young, I'm in my 20s. I'm like, what's going on? And I don't always go to the doctor for different things. I actually had a friend who was versed in like a certain type of massage therapy. So I reached out to her and I said, my whole body on this side is just like locked up. I couldn't even work. I was supposed to work that day. It was stuff that I had to get done, but my body was like, no. My body was not moving. And so I went to her and ended up she did like this procedure called TMJ, where they like get up in your mouth and like press different muscles in your jaw to like allow a release. And so she's in there, and it's just like it hurt to really open up my mouth. And at some point she like hit this like nerve or this point, and I just started crying. I just started crying. Me, I did not know I was holding on to anything emotionally. I just thought that like I had just been trying to like work, and I was just working, and my body's hurting, and I literally can't move. I can't move my side of this body. So for that to happen, and after that cry, I felt like this release, and I felt like I wasn't immediately healed. Like my body wasn't immediately healed, but healing happened with not too long after that. I felt like I didn't have this like tightness and this pressure. And that's just an example to me when my body like literally was like, I cannot continue on this. And this was in my right hand. Like this is my hand that I use all the time. So it's like putting me on pause, like, no, I'm not moving for you right now. And then it was like also acknowledging what you have to release sometimes. A lot of us, we hold on to like emotional tension and emotional stress in our wombs. We hold on to it in our hearts. We hold on to it in our heads, and we kind of just like tuck it away silently and continue to move. Yes, we just continue to go.
We are tired from things that we've been carrying since we were 5. Yeah.
From
5
years old.
5. Just in anything that we may have experienced and not necessarily dealt with, and we just carry the trauma and all of the things. It's like it kind of reminds me of the Bag Lady song.
Yes.
We
you
carry
just keep
so
on
many
adding
bags.
on to the bag, and then you put it on the back burner and think that it's no longer a problem just because you put it on the back burner until something
triggering is going to come out. So what I think, like you said, with tired versus depletion is simply when you have ignored all the signs of being tired.
Yeah.
You have ignored those signs, and now you are operating from a space of nothing, really. Because you have ignored the signs of being tired. And I think that's why it's important for us to do check-ins regularly. We have to stop adding more stuff to our bags. We have to stop carrying so much of the load. Like, I had to intentionally at times say, like, how does this serve me right now? Or is this something that I have to address right now? If not, I take it off, right? And when I say I take it off mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, we can only handle so much.
Yes.
Only carry what is necessary. We have to learn to let things go.
You do.
And within that, like, embrace rest in whatever capacity that looks like for you. Doing the things that fill your cup is going to be also necessary. Like, I like taking breaks. I have learned to, now I'm taking breaks regularly. When I was in the point where, like you said, when building, especially building a school, so I started off with the product-based business, going into building a school. I'm constantly hustling, feel like, okay, what do I got to do? It's just me. I got to get it going. I got to get these orders out. I got to teach. I got to do all of these things. And I remember when I got to the point of burnout where I didn't want to do anything anymore. That's how burnt out I was. I was just like, you know what? I'm done. It is what it is. And I did not teach for months. It was probably about 6 months. Grateful that I had elevated myself in such a space that I could take care of myself, but I was literally burnt out to the point where I couldn't do anything but rest.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. And that's, burnout is literally what it sounds like. Literally can't do anything. And that is truly why you have to have rest, and then you also have to have support. Like, I think about even us as, like, business owners, like, you also want to delegate different things. You want to, whether it be outsourcing, whether it be an in-house team, but, like, spreading the responsibility so that not everything is on you.
Yeah.
Yes, we know that, like, we think about, like, your shoulders, and they say heavy is the head that, like, wears the crown, and, like, just all these things that we have on our shoulders. It's like, share the load with other people. Realize when it's time for you to take that load and release that load, and it doesn't belong to you, but then also share that with others. If you're a business owner, like, delegate those tasks to other people.
The best thing that you can do is to get people to help you, and that's something that Quentin helped me realize of, like, Shamika, don't carry all this load yourself. And that's in any area of life. And yes, we're talking from a business standpoint, but share the load. Like, my prayer used to be, you know, for just, like, increase in success. Like, my prayers have now been to, you know, God, lead me to help, have people to come in, and for me to do this work with, versus just focusing on success. Because, like, you can go far. I mean, you can go fast by yourself, but you can go very far with other people. And so it's important for her, like you said, to delegate things in every area in your life, whether, even if you're not a business owner, you working a 9 to 5, share the load. Share the load, sis. Get other people to help you. Help is okay.
And that's what I was going to say too, is, like, it's okay to allow other people to help you, and kind of, like, work on yourself in general. If you just are not accepting help and just being like, I can
get
do
out
it
of that
all
ego.
by myself. Get out of that
pride.
You don't have to do it all by yourself. Even when we talk about sisterhood, like, that's what sisterhood is. It's us uplifting each other and working together for the greater good. Like, it's just, like, it's always bigger than us. We're all, like, these worker ants working to something, but
we're
the bigger goal is, we're not. Like, you really need community. You really need that support of others, and I think that's what really truly helps a person to not be so tired too. On top, like, the personal thing that we can do is rest and eat well, but as well rely on our outward community. Like, that's our internal work. The external work is, like, really relying on people around you for that support. I feel like most people, we even think about, like, children, they need so much help, and us, we just shouldn't isolate ourselves necessarily. Like, actually accept the help that others are giving us. Seek help if you need that help, and be open to that. Be open to that change.
I think that release that idea of, like, independence. Independence, I think, also is definitely heavily rooted in survival as well, and how we do it. And so when I've learned to do that, of, like, I don't have to do every single thing. Like, I do what I do, and I make sure I do that very well. But I also know in the areas where I ain't even gonna say need improvement. It's areas of things that I don't want to know. It's things that I absolutely don't want to do. Don't care to learn it. Don't care to teach it, and none of the things. But I know that I could bring somebody in and hire somebody in to do those things. And so, yeah, we don't have to do everything. Ain't got to be a DIY. It is not.
By yourself, not at all.
It's not.
And I wanted to speak too, just, like, as being a mom, like, because being a mom, you're always giving to someone else. Like, you're always having to do for your child, no matter what. And I think even as adults, like, moms are still just, like, integral in their children's lives, and it's not often like they need it, but also as moms we want to give it. But then also like just being in groups with other moms, I'm always like, prioritize yourself. I found so much like freedom and power in prioritizing and focusing on myself. Like you said, pour into yourself so that you could pour into others.
Yeah.
Do those things that feel good to you. Get you a foot massage, a
whatever
body massage,
whatever you need
relax,
to do to
like,
help you.
A scrub down, a rub down, go
Yeah.
spend some time out in nature. Go hang out with your girlfriends, whatever it is that allows you to like really relax. And I think one of the greatest things that a lot of us as women can do is just like go have a spa day.
Yeah.
Go have a spa day, essential oils, massage. Let somebody cater to you. Let you not have to do so much work. That's really what it's about. Like when you are tired, like really take that time where you're not having to do so much work. Relax.
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. And if it's things that, let's say, for those with that cannot afford a spa day, do it at home. Do it at home. It's
foot
okay.
bath.
Do your foot bath. Do whatever it is that you need to do at home to still intentionally make sure that you're getting that, right? I've had some times where I will teach and be on the team at the same time and nobody will know, right? I have literally been teaching and soaking my feet.
Yes, that's what
Because I'm going to prioritize it, especially if I'm going back to back to back. I turn it on low. I'm teaching, especially if I got like an hour workshop and I'm teaching on the camera. Yeah, I find ways to assist me in the ways that I need it because it's so necessary.
It is. It's very necessary. Whatever that looks like for you. I think a foot soak is one of the great ways. If we want to get into like how herbs might be able to even help us, but like a foot soak is one of those great ways because our feet carry us through so many things. Our hands carry us through so many things. Yeah, so we have to take care of like our hands. You got to take care of your feet. Like you really want to take care of your body on that physical level. Then you want to take care of your body on that spiritual level. Do what feeds your spirit, whether that's be going to church for you, whether or not that's like reading the Bible for you, whether or not that's helping out in the community. Like feed your mind, your body, and your spirit. That way, like we say, you can continue on giving what you need to give, doing that output. Do the input so that you could do the output. Give the output. Do the input so that you can give the output. That's the basis of it all.
So you said like the foot soaks. That's something I really love to do. Incorporate herbs within that way. We know the teas. I really love taking a bath. Soak and use some herbs. Take you a herbal bath, sis. If you can't take you a herbal bath, what I highly recommend you doing is getting you a container. Get in the shower, but having you a container. Get some essential oils. Get some relaxing essential oils. One essential oil that I really, really love is cinnamon. Cinnamon is just so sexy to me. And so when I'm in that space and I need to like pour into myself, I take cinnamon essential oil. I like to take at least like a gallon of water, put about 6 drops of essential oil in there, and I like to pour it on me right before I get in the shower and before I get out of the shower and just enjoy that. Then I'm going to put on me some body butter that's and some cinnamon or some lavender that's going to help me to relax. I'm going to spray my sheets with some lavender spray. Like I'm going to use herbs in all the ways that I can to help me within relaxing. And one thing with the beauty about relaxing, and I also even do a diffuser, put some herbs in, some essential oils in the diffuser, and those things to help me relax. Because when I am relaxed and I am resting, I don't find myself in that tired space. Sometimes we just need a really good night's sleep. And so I like to create a ritual around that as well. And then for like the herbal allies for burnout, one thing that I really love is ginseng. I take ginseng daily in supplements, so I take it in capsules. And so I love using ginseng within that way. I love the ashwagandha. I love holy basil. That's something that we talked about in the last episodes. Those adaptogens and those herbs I love on the nervous system. And so using some oat straw and things like that. Yeah. These are going to be herbs to really help you. And then within feeling depleted, using nutritive herbs. And so nettle is a really great herb that's rich in a lot of vitamins and minerals and nutrients. And so this also helps us when we're talking about dealing with those deficiencies. And so identifying what it is that you have going on and having your herbal friends or your allies to really support you.
Yep. Yes to the body butter. Y'all know I do skincare, so the soaps, honestly, essential oils are definitely just one of those things that definitely give you like good energy, help you to feel restored. I know like even for me yesterday to do like a body scrub and scrub my body down and like actually like take the time. You don't, again, like you said, you don't have to go get a massage from somebody else. Like you can do that yourself. And I know sometimes it might be like some harder to reach places for us, but when I did a body scrub yesterday and just like actually like allowing the circulation, feeling that moving and like actually pressing on your body and working through those sore muscles and different things like that, like that is very restorative. It feels really, really good. Then to get out, I use body butter. I also do body oil, but body oil, you can massage your body down too, like your arms, and just be intentional. I think one of the best things that you could do is, I think sometimes we just like, you get out the shower, you just moisturizing down real quick, but really like take the time to pause and like be present. Be present. I find so much like peace within the presence and actually like focusing on what I'm doing at that time. So like say if I'm putting on body oil, like
Just
actually taking the time, like smelling the essential oils if you have them in your body oil. One of my favorite body oil blends is lavender and geranium. It's just nice, relaxing. It's floral. It reminds me to be here. Lavender has always been one of those scents and one of those herbs that has always just reminded me to be present and to slow down and be still. Even taking a shower with like lavender soap. If you done had a crazy day all day, you done been in some traffic, and even taking a shower,
it'll put you to bed.
It'll put you to bed. But even taking a shower, like really taking that time to just like close the door. I know even with me just like having a child and stuff, sometimes she know how to open doors now. I guess it's a good thing. I don't know. But before then, I was like literally going and closing the door and like, don't bother me. Don't bother me while I'm in here, like you said, like your mom do. Like, let me take my time to just do the things that feels good to me. And like you said, at night, put on some perfume, do your hair, put
Whatever
oil on your
to do.
scalp. I mean, it just be like little intentional things that you can do that we kind of take for granted. Yes, we oil our scalp daily, but like actually just taking the time to like oil your scalp and run your fingers through your hair. Our skin, we know that it's one of the largest organs on our body, but it's so sensitive to touch. Like we feel so many different sensations. That's how we experience the world, and like really just take the time. And it's also an elimination organ. It helps us to release toxins. So taking care of your skin, taking care of all of your elimination organs, but like taking care of your skin as it's trying to work to release, things that no longer serve you, things that your body doesn't need anymore. And putting like body butter, plant-based oils that are actually restorative in their nature too, as far as like giving back and replenishing your oils in your body. So there's so many things and so many tools that we have, and we actually need to use them and continue to just incorporate them into our lives like daily. That's all it takes is like morning, noon, or night. If you're a morning person, do it in the morning, do it at night, but just to kind of help deal with your days and what the days and what life hands you often.
And stop taking on so much. We don't have to do everything.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I think that's
boundaries.
Another thing that tires us out as Black women is taking on so much. No is a boundary. Okay? No literally is an entire sentence in all of things. No, and it doesn't necessarily need an explanation. So I think, like you said, being present and not taking on so much and prioritizing will definitely help us to maneuver through life and help us to deal with the tiredness and the fatigue and things that we do experience, among other lifestyle changes.
Yes, one of my favorite things to do is to ground, like go outside. We always talk about nature just being that good teacher for you, but it's so healing. Actually grounding, so going out and just like letting your feet just touch the ground and be in grass, and just to ground yourself and be connected with the earth. Another thing is forest bathing. Like if you go out into the woods and just spend some time in the trees, it feels like literally just the quietness of the woods and the trees standing around you literally feels so cleansing. And I understand maybe everybody's not natureful, but we are humans. Like we are, when we die, when this body is done with us, when we shed this body, we go back into the earth. Why not take the time while we're alive to connect with the earth and do those different things that are like literally cleansing? So yes, cleansing with water, and water comes from the earth naturally too. You can go to the river, put your feet in the water, just cleanse your whole body. Like that's a natural cleanse right there. But just simple things like grounding, forest bathing, diffusers, incense, like smoke, cleansing your space.
And even if you can't go out in nature, you can also create that reality at home. So for those that are like, well, maybe like Mika and Essence, we hear you, but I can't get out, or I don't have the time to get out. You can also do sound therapy. Play on you some rain music, or some music and being in the forest, or anything that can help you within that way. Like be creative. Let's not find an excuse of why we can't do a thing to help us. So you can listen to music within that way. That's something that I do before bed. I put on some sound therapy. I put on my diffuser. It takes me somewhere else. And so we can be creative within that way, even if we actually can't take the time to go out in nature. And even right now, like we get into a season, it's cold. A lot of people don't like to be out. warm up the house. I like to do potpourri. I like to take me some orange slices. I like to add some anise, some cinnamon, lemons, boil it up in some water, get that aromatherapy going in the house, get on me some sound therapy, and just bringing nature into my home. And so you can always be creative with it. Like, we don't have to, limit ourselves or create an excuse why we can't get outside for those that, whose schedule may be a little different.
Yeah, you said something important, just like going away to another place. I know a lot of times we're always like, I need a vacation, and that's where we most of the time feel like we're getting that relaxation. But sometimes it's not, because
really
sometimes
escapism.
It's escaping, and you gotta do a lot of work. Like, even if it's like packing up your bags, gotta get on the airplane to go somewhere else. Like,
gotta get dressed, gotta eat, gotta do all the things.
All the things, but how do you create paradise and create that escape within your own house, within your own everyday life? Something that you are able to like resort to, and that feels like a retreat without actually going on a retreat. And just a little shameless plug, using like Urban Eating products that have essential oils.
Take you somewhere else.
Take you somewhere else. Okay.
Definitely will take you somewhere else. That's one thing I love. Like, every time I walk up, I can smell the essential oils outside. When you just know. But yeah, like being the ritual, being the ritual, intending to yourself every single day is going to be key, in whatever way it works for you. So I know, like, today we've shared so many different tips and topics, but you have to really identify what works best for you. So what is great with assisting me within being tired. Like, Taryn Lowell look differently from mine. I'm not tended to a husband. I'm not tended to a kid. So I probably get more sleep than Taryn get. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it looks differently, and so that I think that even goes back to that episode 3 of like being real for you. And so within understanding what makes you tired and what depletes you, I think that you have to take a real account of your own life and seeing what changes you need to make. Yes, we gave some good tips, but these are things that you're going to have to do. Yeah.
Yes, that was a word. Yes, I would just say invite relaxation and peace into your life. Be intentional about it. Figure out what works best for you, like you said, and what you said was so important. Be the ritual. Yeah. Be the ritual and create ritual in your life. And I don't want nobody to demonize ritual, like thinking, ritual is witchcraft. No, it's not. Ritual is you getting up every day. And if you say, thank you, God, for the new day. Thank you for, brushing your teeth, like you said, putting on your clothes, or if you like to iron your clothes a particular way. Ritual is those intentional things that you do into your life that helps to build your mindset, that helps to build your lifestyle, that helps to build these habits for you, but something that you connect.
Yeah, your ritual should be adding to you.
It should
making your life a lot easier and taking off some of the load. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. So I think we talked about our daily practices. Y'all, I think that was pretty good. Like that was all I needed. I feel like we can talk about it. It's definitely more like this action that just has to be taken. Like, if you are tired, relax. And if you need to find a way to do so, find a way. Please lean on some support. Ask somebody to come watch the kids. If you don't got no kids, you can get up and go.
Yes, because I can get up and go. And one thing I do want to mention too, because even we may have some women that are checking in like myself that don't have children, and a part of me realizing that I wasn't ready for children is realizing that I was still in a space where I wanted to be selfish with myself, and that is okay. Yes. Because I think as women, another pressure we carry is like, when are you going to have kids, when are you going to start a family, and all these things. So I carried that pressure, just realizing I wanted to be in a space where I wanted to still be selfish. I wasn't willing to make the sacrifices. And so knowing that within me being tired, there are other things that I didn't want to pick up and carry on my back. Yes. And one was being a mom. And so within that, of course, like, things have changed for me, but I'm just glad that it's something that I did not explore until I was actually ready. Yes, and so I think, again, it's okay. It's important for us to know it's okay to be selfish. It's okay to be selfish. No, you need to be. You have to be selfish in some ways. Like, really, in order to pour back into you, you have to realize the need, like your need and your necessity for what your body is crying out for, what your mind is calling out for, what your spirit is calling out for, and you have to answer that call. Answer that call in whatever way looks good to you. And what you said about like wanting to be selfish is very big. A lot of women grieve themselves that who they were before they became a mom, because being a mom is so demanding. Like, again, your children, especially when you got more than one child too. I don't even have more than one child. I got one, and it's demanding for one. So I know that, like, definitely with more than one child, like, you just have
people pulling you so many different ways, and you have to be selfish because these people are going to be pulling from you, and you're not going to have nothing to give. Again, you're going to be in a depleted state. You're not going to have nothing to give to them. And they need you to be good. You need you to be good so that you can do the things that you got. It just makes sense. Like, I think, like, no matter what, it makes sense. And again, your body is going to let you know, like, if you're doing too much and you just keep going, it's going to stop you in your tracks. And it's going to force you to do that.
Yeah. Because, like, even with that, like, people pleasing led me to burnout.
Yes, thinking that you could say yes to everybody.
People pleasing. I wanted to take on. I'm growing a business. I want to do this, that, and third. Oh yes, you can book me. I'll go here. I'll do there. I'll go. Speaking of that, people pleasing led me to burnout.
Yes.
Yeah.
Be careful of that, and also be careful of energy vampires. People will start to see that, oh yeah, you allowed me to do this, and they're gonna do what you allowed them to do. Yes, I can keep taking from this person. Yes, I know that this person don't got no more to give. Yes,
establish boundaries. It's gonna be.
Don't let people play with you.
Don't
play with yourself, and don't let people play with you. Honor your health. Charge your worth. Honor your health, and take care of yourself. I think that when we talk about, like, are you tired? The answer is to take care of yourself. It's care. It's tender love and care. Like, you really have to do the work, and you have to rest. You got to do the work, and you got to rest at the same time.
I think being tired is something that is normal, but it should not be what you're operating from every single day.
No.
You have moments where you're tired, not even think days, but that should not be your optimal space of where you function from.
No, because that's when you are in survival mode, because you don't got nothing else to give. I mean, we're just like, our bodies are complex. Like, we take care of our cars. Yes, like, we take care of our cars. Like, we fuel our cars. Like, we have to do the same in turn for our body. Yeah. It just makes sense. And, that's for us to understand, and that's for us to figure out in our different paths and on our healing table to come to, and we done hashed it out. So we just know that it's not linear. It's not linear, but it has to be done.
It does.
It has to be done, especially as you continue to get older. Got to get that rest in. All right, so that was our episode today. I hope that y'all feel a little bit of restoration and rest after talking to us.
I hope you get something from it. It is. We gave a lot, but if you just take one thing away and implement it in your life, and it helps you to balance, like that will fulfill me within that way.
Yes.
All right, so we have our affirmation for today. I think this one really.
Yes, I like this.
I think y'all need to hear this one.
Yes.
All right.
I am not lazy. I am listening to my body's call to rest and replenish. I am not lazy.
Rest is not rooted in laziness. Like, let's take that out of our vocabulary. Let's take that out of there.
Please do. Real quick before we go, it actually made me think about, too, especially women in postpartum. I think it can be really tough in postpartum to feel like you need to take that time to rest. You have social media showing women getting back to work immediately after having children, snapping back and stuff like that. Especially in that postpartum where you've given a lot of energy to birth a child, to grow a child, and now you need to rest and restore. You cannot continue to go on if you do not restore yourself. Please.
And if you don't have to have the family, hire a doula. Bring in a sister friend. There's so many things I really loved, and I feel like now we're back in the episode. Sorry. It is important, I think, like you said, in that postpartum part of life, especially after having that baby. Like you said, prepare your body for all the things, but get help. If you don't have a family and friends, hire a doula. Get a sister friend to help you. I think going back to all the things, preparing meals, identifying how you need help. We show up for baby showers and blessing ways and all of the things, but we need each other, I think, most in postpartum.
Oof.
If you got somebody to get you a meal plan, whatever it is that you need, get somebody to help you. And I have always loved showing up in postpartum and being able to love on the mom within that way. And oftentimes moms are just resting while I'm doing all of the things. And I'll say, too, I probably stepped out of my scope a bit, but I love the work. I really, really did. So hire you a doula.
Yes. One that definitely loves to do the work.
Let the mother-in-law, whoever it is, allow people to help you.
Yes, and hopefully we return back to that as women, just finding community where we're able to take care of each other. And that's what I'm going to leave it at and say. But thank you guys for joining us for episode 4 in the books.
All right,
until next time.
See you on the next episode.
Peace.